Someone said something 6 hours ago, and somehow your brain is still trying to solve it. They're asleep. They've moved on. But part of you is still searching for what you missed. Was it their tone? That pause before answering? The way they looked away? Maybe you even opened the message again, just to check if it sounds different now. Maybe you replay the exact sentence in your head, trying to hear a meaning that isn't there. If you've ever done this, you might realize you're far less alone than you thought. You know it's probably nothing. But you can't stop. Meanwhile, that person is sleeping peacefully. They've forgotten. But you haven't. If this feels familiar, keep watching. Because by the end of this video, you'll understand why your brain does this, especially at night. And more importantly, how to quiet the loop. If you've ever told yourself, "Apek, why can't I just let this go?" The answer may surprise you. Most people think replaying conversations means they're anxious, or insecure, or overthinking everything. That's not quite right. Psychologist Daniel Kahneman spent years studying how the brain responds to uncertainty and incomplete information, and what he found is simple but important. When something feels unfinished, your brain doesn't let it go. It keeps returning to it, searching for it, like a song stuck on repeat playing until it finds an ending that makes sense. Here's the strange part. Your brain isn't trying to annoy you. It's trying to protect you. Kahneman found that the brain constantly searches for patterns, trying to predict what might happen next. If a conversation felt slightly off, your brain treats it as incomplete information. It replays the moment to see if it missed something important, a hidden threat, a social danger, a sign that someone might pull away later. In other words, your brain isn't broken. It's just trying to keep you safe from something that probably isn't there anymore. For many people, this is the first time they've realized other people experience this too. Let me say something you may not have heard before. You don't replay conversations because you're weak. You replay them because your nervous system learned that missing a social signal could cost you. Maybe somebody once got angry without warning and you never knew why. Maybe a slight change in someone's voice meant the rest of the evening would be tense. Maybe you learned to watch people's faces before they even spoke, to read the room before anyone said a word. That wasn't overthinking. That was survival. But here's the key distinction, and it's important. The more your nervous system learned to monitor people for emotional safety, the stronger this replay loop can become. People who grew up in unpredictable environments often develop this pattern more intensely. Not because they're broken, because their brain learned that missing a signal could mean real discomfort. So now, a neutral conversation feels unresolved. A slightly flat tone feels like a warning, and your brain stays up late, replaying, searching, preparing. The exhausting part? There's nothing to find. The conversation is over. The person moved on. But your nervous system is still on alert. That's not your fault. It's just an old pattern. And patterns can be changed. But here's where it gets even stranger. And the reason it's worse at night? That's the next piece. Keep watching. Let me walk you through exactly what happens inside your brain when you replay conversations and why it gets so much louder at night. Step 1. The unfinished signal. During the day, something small happens. A friend's voice drops slightly. A coworker pauses too long before answering. A text message feels colder than usual. Your brain flags it as possibly important. Step 2. The search begins. Later, when you're lying in bed with no distractions, your brain starts searching. It replays the moment. It tries to find the missing piece. It imagines what they really meant. But here's why it happens at night. During the day, your attention is busy. Work, messages, noise, responsibilities, your brain can push the unresolved signal to the side. But at night, the distractions disappear. And whatever your brain never fully processed suddenly gets the spotlight. That's why the replay often gets louder after dark. Not because you're broken, because your brain finally has space to search for answers it never found. Step 3. The loop. Because there's no new information, your brain can't resolve the uncertainty. So it replays again. And again. Hoping to find an answer that doesn't exist. This is the loop. Unfinished signal search, no resolution replay. It's not a character flaw. It's a neurological pattern. Most people never see it happening. But you just did. And once a pattern becomes visible, it becomes much harder for it to control you. You don't have to stay stuck in this loop. Some people find it helps to keep a small journal beside their bed just to write down the conversation and close it. Like telling your brain, I've noted it. You can let go now. Whatever tools help your nervous system settle, the most important thing is giving it a way out. Here is the tool we use on this channel. It's called the 90-second safe reset. I call it the safe reset because that's exactly what your nervous system needs to feel safe again. SAFE stands for S cook, spot the scan, A cook, anchor your eyes, F cook, follow the breath, E cook, ease the alarm for nighttime replay. We use the bedtime safe reset. Step S, spot the loop. As soon as you notice yourself replaying, quietly say, my brain is searching right now. That's just an old habit. Step A, anchor your attention. Pick one thing in your room, a shadow on the wall, the edge of your blanket, the moonlight through the window. Look at it for 3 seconds. This pulls your brain out of the memory loop. Step F, follow a slow breath. Breathe in for 3 seconds. Breathe out for 5 seconds. Just once. You don't need to do anything perfectly. Just let the breath out slowly. Longer exhales send a signal to your nervous system that the danger is over, that you are safe. Step E, ease the alarm. Say this softly inside your head. That conversation is over. I am safe right now. I don't need to keep searching. Then turn your attention to the feeling of your body on the mattress. The weight, the warmth, the stillness. That's the whole protocol. Use it anytime you catch yourself replaying. The first few times, the loop may return. That's normal. Keep practicing. Over time, your brain learns a new habit. Rest, not replay. You stop searching for certainty and start returning to safety. Let me ask you something honestly. Have you ever stayed up late replaying a conversation while the other person was already sleeping peacefully and felt frustrated with yourself for not being able to let it go? If that's you, you are not alone. Millions of people lie awake replaying conversations they wish they could forget. Most never realize they are all running the same hidden pattern. The exhausting part isn't the conversation. It's that your nervous system treats uncertainty like unfinished business. But here's what most people never realize. You don't need to figure it out. The conversation doesn't need to be resolved in your head. It's already over. What your brain really needs is permission to stop searching. And that permission can come from you, not by force, but by gently using the safe reset every time the loop starts. For years, your brain believed the answer was hidden somewhere inside the replay. But the answer was never more searching. It was safe. And that rest? It's not giving up. It's finally letting your nervous system know the conversation is over. You are learning to rest. That is real strength. If this video felt personal, the next one shows you why overthinkers often learned this pattern in childhood and how to recognize where it started. Subscribe to What is Psyche for more.